Hey everybody, and welcome back to another weather sim forecast. And in today's forecast, we're going to be talking about another weather pattern change that's going to be coming to the United States over the next couple of weeks. And this is going to be a huge one, as not only could we be talking about more in the way of significant severe weather across a pretty large area of the United States, which could even bring the potential for derecho if everything continues to show up on the models, which is something that we must watch very closely. And then after that, I think we're going to continue to see this active pattern even continue into July, but we will also likely be seeing a heat wave roll on through areas of the United States, bringing temperatures in the low to mid 90s across a pretty large chunk, heading from the southwest United States even all the way over there into the southeast as well. So we will be going over all that in today's video, and we will also be going over some other things, so make sure to stay tuned till the end so that you guys know what to expect for the next 7 to 10 days. And we'll begin with what's happening across the United States today, and you guys can see that we do have a risk for severe weather across areas of the plains, back over there into the western Rocky Mountains, and even up there into areas of the upper Midwest. Main concern for today, especially down there across the Mississippi Valley, will be the potential for a few tornadoes and even some damaging winds. Hail threat looks to stay farther to the north, especially across the Dakotas, back over there into Minnesota, even over there into areas of Wyoming, Montana, and even northwest Colorado. So we will keep an eye on all those areas very closely as we head throughout today, which keep in mind that even though we do have all hazards in play, especially down there across the Mississippi Valley and even up there into areas of the plains, the threats overall will be marginal, which means whatever severe weather we see probably won't be too significant. Worst case scenario, if we did see anything, would probably be a storm producing winds up to 65 miles per hour and maybe even some half-dollar size hail, which would be worst case scenario. So make sure you guys are at least weather aware for today, just in case a warning does pop up in your area. But other than that, it does not look too significant overall. And then once we enter tomorrow, this is when we do still see chances for more severe storms. But really the only change though is that we do actually see a much higher risk for severe weather, heading from Montana all the way down there into the panhandles of Oklahoma and even the northern panhandle of Texas. And this does include some of the same areas as today, which means we do still need to be weather aware even as we enter tomorrow, with not just chances for damaging winds, but also chances for large hail as well, almost across the exactly same areas. And then we also do have a small 2% risk for a tornado, which means a brief tornado is not completely out of the question, but it is something to keep an eye on closely, as it can still occur really at any time. So we'll keep an eye on that closely as well, so make sure you're weather aware as we head even into tomorrow. And then once we enter day 3, once again, we aren't really looking at anything significant on day 3 either, but once again, we still got that potential of seeing severe weather almost across the same areas once again, which is just crazy. But we will keep an eye on it very closely, as it does look like more severe weather could be possible. And from what I'm seeing on this, I would not be surprised at all if we did see another site risk for severe weather, which we will need to keep an eye on very closely as we head into the next couple of days. And then the next thing that I would like to look at is why we are seeing significant severe weather, because this is mainly because of all that energy right there that's going to be surging on in. Because you guys can see that as we enter tomorrow, which will be July or June 12th, rather, I should say, especially up here across the Dakotas. You guys can see that we do see some of those reds and purples showing up, indicating about a 24 out of 46 on the scale, which is a decent threat for severe weather. Like I said, it's not really anything significant, but it is enough to where we will keep an eye on that threat very closely. After that, I think we're going to continue to see chances for severe storms once again over the same areas, and some of that threat might even expand eastward into areas of Kentucky and Tennessee by the time we head into June 13th. So that will also be something to watch for too, especially as we get into the weekend. And then after that heads out, and as we head into early next week, I think we're going to continue to see chances for severe storms over the plains once again, where we even got some purple showing up, which could even indicate a chance, at least, for maybe even a few strong tornadoes if that does come together just right. And then after that, once again, the severe weather will just continue to be a hazard even as we enter the later part of June too as well. And then if we take a look at our energy values, because this is just your overall risk for severe weather, but what we're going to be taking a look at next is mainly just showing you that we are once again going to have plenty of energy to work with as we head into the next couple of days. But once we get past June 15th, however, this is when I expect things to change almost completely. You guys can see that as we get past June 16th, we really start to see all those energy values just really start to ramp up. Look at this. This is June 15th. And now we're heading into June 20th, June 21st, and even all the way over there into June 25th. Just look at that. Plenty of energy to work with across much of the eastern United States. And look at the upper Midwest. We're exploding with over 5,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE up there. Maybe in a few areas up there towards 7,000 joules per kilogram, guys. That's just off the scale. So this could be a derecho, guys, if everything does come together just right. Not only are we going to have plenty of energy, but look at all that moisture, guys. We're talking maybe even dew points getting up there into the mid-70s as far north as the upper Midwest. Once again, we're just exploding with green almost all over, and we also could be talking about even some strong wind shear too, which once again, a lot of this is what's really going to lead to that potential of significant severe weather, especially across the upper Midwest, where we got even more wind shear to work with. Areas farther down to the south may still see severe weather, but we won't have nearly as much wind shear to work with down there compared to the upper Midwest, which is kind of what we're expecting by the time we get into Tuesday, June 21st, or June 24th rather, but still kind of around that time frame. So we will keep an eye on it very closely, as we could be talking about potentially another significant severe weather event, maybe even a derecho occurring as we head into the next couple of weeks, especially around the June 24th time frame. If we also take a look at our precipitation, you guys can see that during that time frame as well, we're looking from now all the way through the weekend and even into the start of next week. You guys can see that as we head into June 17th especially, but like I said, this even includes now through the weekend and even the start of next week, we will really be looking at chances for above normal precipitation, not just across areas of Houston, but also areas even up there towards Arkansas, just really getting on those precipitation totals, as we do have the potential to see anywhere from 2 to even as much as 4 inches of rainfall, not just across the Houston area, but also across even areas over there towards Arkansas and maybe even up there towards the upper Midwest, where we really looking to see anywhere from 2 to 4 inches once again. So we will keep an eye on that very closely, especially as we head throughout the next 7 days. And like I said, this even includes the weekend and even the start of next week. So make sure you are weather aware, as some flash flooding could be possible, especially across Arkansas and as well as down there towards Houston. If we also take a look at our temperatures, we are really looking at, once again, above normal temperatures, which is one of the reasons why, guys, we really see those higher amounts of energy. Those temperatures is what's really going to cause a lot of that to explode, as the area that looks to see the highest temperatures would probably be over there, not just across the Rockies and the Four Corners region, but also over there towards areas of the south and southeast, where we got more of this red showing up. And even as we head into the later part of June, we're looking from June 19th all the way through June 25th now, we still once again are looking at above normal temperatures across the eastern United States and as well as the Four Corners region once again. So we really got to watch that very closely, as our temperatures once again are just going to exploding. You guys can see that all those temperatures are just going to continue to warm up as we head into the next couple of weeks. So we're looking at June 16th right now, and look at that, we're already starting to see more of those 80s and even lower 90s show up throughout a pretty large part of the United States. And even as we head into next week as well, and even the week after, once again, we really start to see more of those 80s and 90s continue eastward. And if we continue this all the way till June 25th, just look at that, we're talking temperatures not just in the triple digits across Kansas, which would be miserable, but look at that, we're even seeing lower 90s even as far north as Michigan potentially. So we really got to watch this heat wave very closely, as it could bring widespread 90s across a pretty large portion of the eastern and central United States. And once again, this is the main thing that's going to cause our temperatures and as well as our energy in the atmosphere to really get high. We're talking potentially some explosive amounts of energy to work with, which could once again bring chances for more significant severe weather. So just because the temperatures will be warm doesn't mean we'll be dry. We will likely be dealing with explosive amounts of energy as we head into the next couple of weeks. And then the last thing I want to go over in today's forecast is, of course, the tropics, just to give you guys an idea about what to expect as we get closer into hurricane season, because once again, we really got these warmer temperatures over there in parts there of the Pacific Ocean that we are going to keep an eye on closely once again, because it's really looking like we could be talking about some areas potentially getting over 80 degrees Fahrenheit once again. So that will be something to watch for, especially as we head into the next couple of months. And this is also one of the areas that we are going to be watching for, because it's not just the water temperatures, but it's also because I think we're also going to have less dust to work with during that time. You guys can see that the Saharan dust is much weaker than it was before, which could lead to some tropical development even as we get into the later part of June. And there will still be some around, but once again, it's very weak. It's a lot less compared to what we've been dealing with. So not really looking at anything, too crazy in terms of Saharan dust, but we will definitely watch it very closely, as we even got some areas in the eastern Pacific already looking concerning, which we will watch very closely over the next couple of months. And I do expect it to continue to get worse as we head into the next couple of months once again. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we will continue to keep you guys up to date with the latest. And once again, we really do appreciate your guys' support to making things like this happen. And I do hope to continue to do some upgrades as we get into the future, especially once I get there. So consider doing that. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday out there. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.